Day 40. The Judean Wilderness. Jesus emerged from the cave, and the Gospel of Matthew records that Satan fled. But the text never explains why. What weapon did fasting provide? What force made the Archon ruler retreat without a single word spoken? The church gave you the story, but they erased the mechanics. The Pistis Sophia reveals what Constantine and the Council of Nicaea buried. Archons do not feed on your prayers. They feed through your digestive system. Every meal you consume creates a frequency. Dense food, processed sugar, factory-farmed meat, synthetic chemicals. These are not just unhealthy. They are Archon anchors. They tune your body to the exact bandwidth where the parasites attach. They drain your spark. They keep you controllable. And Jesus knew this. He did not fast 40 days to prove his devotion to God, and he fasted to starve them. By day 7, their whispers weakened. By day 14, their grip dissolved. He walked out sovereign, untouchable. The inner circle asked, "Must we fast 40 days?" He said, "7 is enough if you know which foods they inhabit." Right now, place your hand flat on your stomach. Do not think about it. Just feel. Have you ever finished eating and felt drained? Not tired from digestion. Drained, emptied, as if something pulled energy from you while you ate. That is not your imagination. That is feeding. If you are watching this at night, if something guided you here, comment the words, "I starve them now." This is not engagement. This is your declaration that you are ready to cut their supply line forever. You are not here by accident. You clicked because something inside you, deeper than curiosity, recognized the title. That recognition is the mark of a pneumatic, a chosen one. You carry the complete divine spark of the monad within you. You have always felt different. You have always sensed that the food you were told was normal makes you feel wrong. You were right. Tonight, I'm going to give you 2 food categories, 7 days, 3 mealtime declarations, the exact protocol Jesus taught his inner circle to break the Archon anchor through the one system they thought you would never question: your gut. To understand why food is the weapon, you need to understand what the Archons actually are. This is not metaphor. This is mechanics. The Gnostics described a universe that looks nothing like what religion taught you. At the highest level exists the monad, pure consciousness, infinite light, undivided unity. The monad did not create this material world. It exists far above it, in a realm where there is no suffering, no separation, no death. The material world was shaped by the demiurge, a lesser being who built this prison in ignorance. He declared himself God, demanding worship, creating systems of control. Beneath him are the Archons, rulers of matter. They operate through frequency, through consciousness patterns just outside human perception, and they feed on human energy. Not all energy, low-frequency states. Fear, confusion, desperation, separation. But they discovered something more efficient. The human body itself, when tuned to specific densities, becomes a permanent anchor. And the densest system in your body is digestion. Food is matter. Matter is the lowest frequency in creation. When you consume dense, processed, chemically altered food, either your body vibrates at the exact bandwidth the Archons designed. You become visible, accessible, a feeding station. Take a slow breath right now. Feel your lungs expand. Breath is higher frequency than food. This is why fasting works. You raise your vibration above the density they can touch. The Gospel of Thomas records Jesus saying, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you have will save you. If you do not have that within you, what you do not have will kill you." The The Gnostics understood this as instruction about the divine spark, but it also applies to your body. What you bring into your body determines whether your spark can express or suffocates under material density. Here is the part that will make you angry. The modern food system was not corrupted by accident. In the 4th century, and the Council of Nicaea did more than choose gospels. They rewrote the relationship between spirituality and the body. The early Gnostics practiced regular fasting, not as religious discipline, as Archon warfare. They understood dense food created dense consciousness. They ate sparingly. Ancient grains, wild fish, raw honey, spring water. Foods the earth produced without human interference. High-frequency foods. The Church Fathers saw this and recognized the threat. If people understood fasting gave direct access to the monad, what purpose would priests serve? So they made fasting about sacrifice, about suffering for God's approval. They turned a weapon into submission ritual. Over centuries, fasting became punishment, deprivation, guilt. The mechanics were buried. As industrial food production exploded in the 20th century, and something shifted. Processed sugar, factory meat, GMO grains, synthetic additives. These were created for profit and shelf life, but they had a secondary effect the Archons exploited. These foods create dependency, cravings, brain fog, emotional instability. They lower frequencies so consistently you forget what clarity feels like. You accept fog as normal. The Pistis Sophia describes Archons as beings who cannot create, only manipulate. They saw the food system humans were building and amplified it. A thought here, a decision there. The result is a global population consuming Archon-dense food 3 times daily for entire lives. Anchored, harvestable, asleep, but some never fully anchored. The pneumatics have always felt wrong after eating certain foods. You were told you were sensitive, allergic, picky, but your body was warning you. That food was lowering your frequency. That food was feeding what should not be fed. Jesus fasted 40 days because he knew the Archons would attack. He removed their anchor point. No food meant no density. No density meant no access. By day 14, his body vibrated so far above material frequency, the Archons could not perceive him. When Satan appeared on day 40, it was a last desperate attempt. It failed because Jesus had already won. The inner circle witnessed this. They saw him return with impossible clarity and power. They asked, "How do we do this?" Jesus gave the answer the church erased. 7 days, 2 food categories, 3 declarations at every meal. 7 days would break the Archon grip. 7 days would prove everything you were taught about food and spirituality was a lie to keep you trapped. If your chest is tightening, if your gut is responding to these words, that is your pneumatic spark, recognizing the mechanics they hid. Comment, I see the anchor below. Let the Archons know you are no longer feeding them blindly. There are 2 food categories, Archon dense or Pleroma resonant. The church never taught this distinction because this distinction ends their control. Once you understand which foods anchor you and which free you, the entire system of religious dependency collapses. Archon-dense foods share 3 characteristics. Heavily processed, far removed from natural state. Contain synthetic elements that do not exist in nature. Create heaviness, brain fog, emotional drain within 30 minutes. These are not side effects. These are intended effects. The demiurge designed this realm to lock you in matter. The fastest way is through the gut. Your digestive system generates frequency. Every chemical reaction in your intestines, every molecule absorbed, creates a vibrational signature. The Archons spent millennia learning which foods generate harvestable frequencies. Processed sugar is their primary tool. Refined white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, synthetic sweeteners. These do not exist in nature. They were engineered. Within minutes of consuming processed sugar, blood glucose spikes, mental clarity crashes, emotional state destabilizes. You crave more. This is not addiction. This is frequency manipulation. Archons generate craving through the substance itself. Factory-farmed meat is the second anchor. Animals raised in captivity, injected with hormones, fed unnatural diets, slaughtered in terror. Every ounce carries the frequency of suffering. You absorb fear, pain, density. The Gospel of the Ebionites records Jesus saying, "Temple sacrifices were abominations. That consuming frightened animal flesh anchors the soul to death." GMO grains are the third tool. Wheat, corn, soy, genetically altered, sprayed with chemicals. Designed for profit and control, their effect is catastrophic. Inflammation, gut permeability, immune suppression, frequency reduction. Your vibrational state drops with every consumption. Synthetic additives, alcohol, refined oils complete the list. Preservatives, artificial colors, flavor enhancers, substances you cannot pronounce. These create chaos in your gut microbiome, which generates more neurotransmitters than your brain. Gut chaos means mind chaos, and chaos is the Archon's favorite feeding state. Pause. Now think about what you ate today. How many categories did you consume? Most people consume all 6 without realizing. You were taught these foods are normal. You were never told they are weapons. Place both hands on your stomach. Press gently. Feel the density. That is not just physical matter. That is energetic weight. Years, maybe decades, of consuming Archon fuel. Tonight you learn how to dissolve it. When you stop feeding them, the Archons do not release quietly. They panic. You will experience intense cravings, especially days 2 and 3. Your mind will generate 1,000 reasons to eat eliminated foods. You will tell yourself this is too extreme, that moderation is wiser, that you can start next week. Recognize those thoughts. That is not your wisdom. That is Archon frequency fighting for survival. The parasite does not want to starve. It will use your memories, emotions, logic to convince you to resume feeding. But if you push through 3 full days, something breaks. The archonic grip weakens. Cravings diminish. By day 4, you feel something you may not have felt in years. Clarity, lightness, consciousness expanding beyond dense matter prison. Chosen ones who completed this protocol report the same. Days 1 through 3 are battle. Archons throw everything. Doubt, hunger, irritability, fatigue. But these are death throes. Signals of a parasite losing its host. If you recognize resistance as proof the protocol works, you do not surrender. You proceed. By day 7, transformation is undeniable. Brain fog lifts. Emotional heaviness dissolves. Synchronicities increase. Dreams become vivid and meaningful. Most powerfully, you feel the spark inside you, the pneumatic nature you carried your entire life, finally unburied from Archon density. Take a breath. You are about to receive the exact foods that free you. The Pleroma resonant category. But first, you must commit. Comment 7 days below. Right now. This is your declaration to the monad that you are ready to dissolve the anchor and reclaim your frequency. Pleroma resonant foods carry a frequency Archons cannot harvest. They exist at a vibrational level that repels parasitic attachment. When you consume them exclusively for 7 days, you are not dieting. You are shifting your body's fundamental frequency. Spring water is the first, not tap water with fluoride and chlorine, not bottled water in plastic. Spring water drawn from earth, mineral-rich, structured by passage through stone. Water is the primary frequency conductor. 70% of your cells are water. When pure, your entire system resonates higher. Jesus spoke of living water. This was not metaphor. This was frequency conduction. Raw honey is second. Wild honey, raw, unfiltered, containing pollen, propolis, enzymes. Honey never decays. Egyptian tombs contain honey still edible after 3,000 years. Honey exists outside material corruption laws. It carries eternal preservation frequency. When you consume light, concentrated into matter. The Israelites were fed manna in the desert. Descriptions match wild honey. This was frequency food. Wild-caught fish is third. Fish that lived in open water, consumed natural diet. Gnostics taught water is the element closest to spirit. Water creatures carry less density than land animals. Fish exist at a frequency threshold between matter and spirit. Jesus fed multitudes with fish. He ate fish after resurrection. This was deliberate. Fish is bridge food between realms. Ancient grains are fourth: einkorn, spelt, kamut. Grains genetically unchanged for thousands of years. They contain original blueprints uncorrupted by manipulation. Your body recognizes them. They digest cleanly, creating energy without inflammatory cascade. The unleavened bread Jesus broke was made from these. He was demonstrating resonance. Organic produce, unleavened bread, and cold-pressed olive oil complete the seven. Vegetables and fruits grown without synthetic chemicals. Bread without yeast fermentation that lowers frequency. Olive oil used in sacred anointing because it conducts energy through skin. When consumed, it internally anoints, and your cells become more permeable to light. Here is what happens when you shift from Archon dense to Pleroma resonant. First response is resistance. Gut bacteria conditioned by processed food die off. These bacteria generate signals that feel like hunger, craving, need. But they are not your signals. They are organisms that fed on Archon density. Let them die. You are purging. Day 2, detoxification intensifies. Headaches, irritability, fatigue. These are not failure. These are release. Toxins stored in fat cells, heavy metals in tissues, synthetic compounds in organs mobilize. Your body expels what does not belong. Archons lose chemical anchors. Day 3 is crisis point, when most surrender. Cravings peak. Mental arguments overwhelm. You will obsess over eliminated foods. Smell them everywhere. Dream about them. This is Archon frequency broadcasting at maximum because it senses dissolution. The parasite is dying. Dying things fight desperately. But if you hold, day 4 brings shift. You wake different. Fog lifts. Colors brighter. Sounds clearer. You notice details you walked past your entire life. Your sensory system comes online. Archons suppress perception. When grip weakens, you see the prison. By day 5, emotional changes are undeniable. Background anxiety, vague dread, feeling something is always wrong. It fades. Not because circumstances changed, because the frequency generating those emotions is no longer fed. Most of what you thought were your feelings were broadcasts from the archonic field. Day 6 brings vivid dreams, symbolic, sometimes disturbing. Flying, beings of light, childhood memories with absolute clarity. The pneumatic spark, no longer buried under digestive density, transmits directly into consciousness. These dreams are instruction. Write them down upon waking. Day 7 is confirmation. Place hand on stomach. The weight is gone. Not physical weight, though many lose several pounds. Energetic weight. The density anchoring consciousness to material frequency dissolved. You feel lighter, clearer, more present. Archons can no longer perceive you clearly. You have passed over. This protocol is not one time. 7 days break the primary anchor, but Archons will attempt to re-establish grip when you return to Archon-dense foods. Some chosen ones maintain Pleroma diet permanently. Others cycle 7 days per month. Others use as needed when fog returns. You will know what your body requires because for the first time in years, I know you can hear it clearly. The foods are not restrictive. They are liberating. Eat until satisfied. Combine in countless ways. This is not deprivation. This is frequency alignment. And results are not subtle. Within 7 days, you will know beyond doubt what you learned is real. Knowing which foods to eliminate and embrace is half the protocol. Jesus taught something that amplifies the shift exponentially. 3 declarations at every meal. 3 frequency adjustments that transform eating from unconscious consumption into conscious sovereignty. Without these, you are simply changing diet. With them, you dismantle the Archon anchor at the root. The practice has 3 components: recognition, declaration, witnessing, each performed in sequence. Together they create a field Archons cannot penetrate, not through force, and because you operate at a frequency they cannot detect. First component is recognition before eating. Place hand flat on stomach, not chest. Stomach. This is the battleground. Feel the space under your palm. Notice tension, emptiness, anticipation. Speak out loud. I recognize this food as monad gift, not Archon fuel. When you eat unconsciously while scrolling, working, distracted, your body processes in survival mode. It does not distinguish nourishment from poison. But when you pause, consciously recognize food, something shifts. Your digestive system receives a signal. This is intentional, chosen, sovereign. Your cells respond differently. They open to receive frequency, not just calories. The words are critical. I recognize. Not I hope or believe. Recognition is present tense certainty. You declare what already is. Monad gift means it carries source frequency. It came from earth, grown by sunlight and water. Not Archon fuel draws the line. You inform your body and unseen realm, this food will not anchor you. It will sustain spark, nothing else. Speak before every meal for 7 days. Morning, midday, evening. Even with others when awkward. Especially then. Discomfort is Archon interference, preventing activation. Speak anyway, out loud. Hand on stomach. Let voice carry frequency into gut before food arrives. Second component is declaration during the meal. As you eat, chew, swallow, hold one sentence in awareness. You need not speak with every bite, but hold it, feel it. Let it permeate eating. I eat to sustain spark, not feed parasites. This is where war is won. Every meal you ever ate, Archons were there, harvesting, draining, using digestion as supply line. But now you know. Knowledge changes frequency. When you eat with this declaration active, your body metabolizes differently. Energy does not leak into Archonic field. It goes where you direct, to spark, to cells, to sovereignty. Some chosen ones feel chest warmth while eating this way. Others notice food tastes different, more vibrant, as if tasting fully for first time. This is presence. You have eaten unconsciously your entire life. Unconscious eating is Archon feeding. Conscious eating is spark activation. You do not need rigidity or perfection. If mind wanders, if you forget mid-meal, simply return. Place hand on stomach again. Speak words again. Archons require consistency of unconsciousness. You only need consistency of return. Every time you remember, you reclaim ground. And the third component is witnessing after the meal. This is confirmation. 60 seconds after finishing, sit quietly. Do not scroll. Do not rush to next task. Observe. Notice what you feel. Energy level. Emotional state. Ask one question silently. Am I lighter or heavier? If you ate Pleroma food with declarations active, you feel lighter. Vibrationally lighter. Edges more transparent. Gravity has less hold. Mind clear. Chest open. Warmth spreading from stomach upward. This confirms the food-sustained spark. Archons did not feed. If you ate Archon dense food or Pleroma without declarations, you feel heavier. Brain fog creeps in within 20 minutes. Emotional flatness descends. You want to lie down, zone out, escape your body. This is drainage. Now you have language to name it. Awareness to choose differently next meal. For 7 nights after final meal, write what you witnessed. One sentence. Lighter or heavier. No judgment. No shame if you slipped. Just data. By day 7, you have a record. A map of which foods and practices shift frequency. That map is yours forever. No authority can convince you otherwise. Your body told you truth. Chosen ones who complete this report declarations become automatic by day 7. Words arise naturally before meals. Hand moves to stomach without thought. Witnessing happens in real time. You trained consciousness to monitor frequency. Once activated, Archons can never fool you again. You always know when they try to anchor. You always have the tool to refuse. 3 components. Recognition before, declaration during, witnessing after. Every meal. 7 days. This weaponizes eating. This turns their trap into your liberation mechanism. Tonight you begin. Let me tell you what to expect. Signs will come. So will resistance. If you do not know how to read them, you will mistake liberation for failure. You will turn back at the exact breakthrough moment. The Archons know this. They have used the same tactics for millennia. Tonight you learn their playbook. Days 1 through 3, signs will be uncomfortable. Archon panic phase. You eliminated their food supply. They are starving. They flood your system with distress signals. Intense cravings hit, usually day 2. Not gentle hunger. Violent need. Your mind obsesses over eliminated foods. You smell them everywhere. Dream about them. This is not your body. This is Archons demanding fuel. You feel irritable. Small things enrage you. People annoy you. This is withdrawal from archonic frequency running through you for years. Your nervous system recalibrates. It feels chaotic, wrong. Push through. These are death throes. Parasites losing grip. Day 3 is peak. Expect headaches, fatigue, a voice saying, "This is too extreme. You are harming yourself. Stop immediately." Recognize that voice. It is not concern. It is desperation. Archons executing final defense. If you break day 3, they win. Hold until day 4, everything changes. Days 4 through 7, signs shift completely. Wake day 4, and fog is gone. Mind sharp. Colors brighter. Sounds clearer. Lightness you forgot was possible. This is your natural frequency. This is you without Archon anchor. Welcome it. Trust it. This is real. Dreams become vivid. Symbols appear. Some see light in sleep. Others receive instructions from a presence they cannot name, but recognize as benevolent. The monad is reaching you. Interference clearing. Signal getting through. Synchronicities increase dramatically. Think of someone they call. Need information, it appears. Impossible problems have obvious solutions. This is not luck. This is frequency aligning with source. Universe stops resisting because you stopped resisting yourself. Physically, warmth in chest during declarations, tingling in hands, pressure at forehead center. These are activation signs. Energy body recalibrating, chakras clearing. Do not fear. Observe. They confirm protocol works. But resistance still comes. Even days 6 and 7. Doubt whispers. Maybe placebo. Maybe imagined. Maybe you can return to normal eating. That doubt is Archon frequency making one last attempt. Wedge notice it. Do not argue. Simply proceed. By day 7, your body gives proof no doubt can override. You will know. Knowing is freedom. You now carry what Jesus gave his inner circle 2,000 years ago. Not theology. A weapon. The 7-day Archon Starvation protocol that dismantles their anchor through the one system they thought you would never question. Your gut. Tomorrow morning you begin. Not next week. Not when perfect. Tomorrow. Day 1. Eliminate 6 Archon dense foods. Embrace 7 Pleroma resonant foods. Speak 3 declarations at every meal. Recognition before. Declaration during. Witnessing after. Track what happens. First, comment day. 1. Complete tomorrow night after finishing your first full day. Come back each night for 7 nights and comment your day number. Day 2. Complete. Day 3. Complete. Let other chosen ones see your progress. Witness your commitment. You are not alone. We dismantle the Archon grid together. Every chosen one who completes 7 days weakens their entire system. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications. What I shared tonight is only the beginning. Deeper protocols, advanced practices, more liberation mechanisms. The church buried. I will bring them to you. Third, like this video right now. Not for me, for the algorithm suppressing this content. Every like pushes this teaching toward another pneumatic searching in darkness just like you. Your click is resistance. Your engagement is spiritual warfare. Jesus fasted 40 days to prove it could be done. He gave you 7 days so you would actually do it. Archons have fed on you your entire life. 7 days from now, they will have lost their anchor. You will be free. The monad is waiting. Start tomorrow. Starve them. Reclaim your spark. And finally, remember what you are.